the leopard, strong, slender, and a powerful cat that rules the jungles of Africa, covering the large chunk of the African mainland from Central Africa all the way down to South Africa. The leopard is considered the king of the jungle, dominating the food chain and doing this completely unnoticed. They're known for their stealth and can get only a few feet away from the prey and completely be ignored until it's too late. Although very stealthy, the leopard is well documented in many areas of the African continent. However, 30 miles offshore, off the coast of Tanzania, a clump of islands, the Zanzibar Archipelagos, once held a distant subspecies of the African leopard, the Zanzibar Leopard. The bird was known to be smaller than its continental relative and was thought to have a lower walking stance compared to an African leopard. However, the biggest physical difference was the fur pattern. While the African leopard possesses larger, more spaced out spots, also called rosettes, the Zanzibar leopard holds smaller, more densely packed ones. This leopard has been considered extinct since the 1990s, having been driven out of existence due to mass overhunting, with the principal motive being that this large cat was a bad omen and held evil status. When alive, this animal is a top predator on the island and also is considered a keystone species to this extreme biodiverse island. For those who don't know, a keystone species is a species that is considered to hold an extremely important role in the entirety of an ecosystem and have a proportion of significance much larger than these other species. This leads to my first point onto why I believe the Zanzibar leopard is definitely roaming on the planet today. The overall ecosystem of Zanzibar is still considered to hold strong despite the alleged extinction of this leopard. Unlike other ecosystems around the world, such as Yellowstone before the introduction of wolves or Tasmania since the extinction of the thylacine, there is no clear evidence that there has been a strong imbalance in the ecosystem in Zanzibar. Being a keystone species and the unanimous apex predator of that island, imbalances have started to occur after 30 years. There is no evidence of such. The lack of evidence to prove ecological distress is a good sign onto why an apex predator is still present on the island. Yet, we still need to take this concept with a grain of salt. It is entirely possible that there is simply not enough documentation of ecological distress due to a lower concentration of wildlife research in comparison to other ecosystems around the globe. Yet, the lack of research leads to my next evidence onto why this leopard is definitely out there. There is a lot of land in which a sneaky animal could hide out of science's lens. With thick jungles covering a large proportion of the island, animals could easily go undetected. This is exactly what happened with the Zanzibar cerulean genet. This small carnivore, closely related to the mongoose, was first described in 1995 and has been described less than 10 times since its discovery, mostly through wildlife trail cameras. Almost nothing is known of this mammal, and a similar situation could be the case of the island's top predator. Due to rare hunting, it's very possible that the Zanzibar leopard is inherently scared of humans and makes sure it goes undetected. For their amazing ability to hide from anything only a couple of feet away from the present, it is completely possible that they just choose to avoid human detection.
However, the most important piece of evidence to suggest the existence of the Zanzibar leopard is a video footage from a trail camera in 2018 by wildlife expert Forrest Galante and his team. They were able to capture the unambiguous video of a leopard walking on Zanzibar Island. The only other possibility would have been an exported African lion that made its way on Zanzibar wilderness. Let's take a look at this footage.
As we can see here, the patterns seem to hold a lot of smaller rosettes stuck together in greater density than the African leopard. Obviously, this footage takes place at night and it's much harder to evaluate what it could be. To be 100% certain that the leopard is still remaining on the island, DNA evidence will eventually be required. But overall, with the other very significant evidence and reasoning, this makes me 100% sure that the Zanzibar leopard is still out there. Hopefully, a scientific team will be able to head out and collect required DNA samples to remove this beautiful predator off the extinct species list. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this type of content, subscribe and drop a like.